to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. It's time!
It's Sunday, January 9th, 2021. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Tabor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 103, the 2021 MMA Award Show. After that, we jump into the Kattar versus Chikadze preview show. But before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
Social media accounts, Mason. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at the Church of MMA. Guys, we are also on Getter. Okay, we're actually going to start posting there more. We don't really touch our Twitter too much. But guys, all our social media accounts are exactly the same, at The Church of MMA. And if you want a link to every single one of those, you can go to thechurchofmma.com. Links to every single social media account. Links to our Teespring. Get yourself a face mask, a mug, a t-shirt, sweatshirt. We have Let's Go Brandon merch is available right now. The design is up on our Instagram account, and I believe it is also up on our community page on YouTube. So if you want to grab a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt before UFC 270, you got to get it now, guys, because that shipping is going to take a little bit of time, as everything does nowadays.
And also, there's 3 different versions of the Let's Go Brandon shirt. So you can choose from one of the 3 designs. But very excited to get those. Mine show up tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
Very excited for that.
I'm excited for that, yeah.
We got a big episode today, boys.
Yes, we do. And it's so good. Let's just talk about it first before we jump into this award show. Obviously, 2021 was an awesome year, Tabor, not just fight-wise, but for this podcast as well. We had a lot of big milestones thanks to all the people who support this podcast. We hit 1,000 subscribers, which was really cool because, we've only been doing this a year and a half. And for that to happen was really awesome. And we just have a lot of things in the works and a lot of things to be happy and grateful for. Did you ever see this year going this way for the podcast?
Oh, no. No. It's blown every expectation I've had out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, it absolutely has. Like, it's crazy. I thought for sure it was going to take at least 2 or 3 years just at 1,000 subscribers. We're sitting right now, I think, at around 1,240 or something like that.
Yep.
So, guys, thank you so much. The super chats coming in, like the super chat wheel. Dude, I'm so excited because we've seen the potential and we know when it's going to happen here in 2022.
Yep. We
have so much more in the works for you guys as well. We hope you enjoy every single little thing we're going to do because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really will be. And Patreon exclusive, what's really cool is being able to have like behind the scenes for Patreon. And initially we were just going to do our 2022 meeting off air or whatever, like after the podcast. But Tabor came up with a great idea. The second service, behind the scenes footage. You guys are going to see the inner workings of the podcast, and we're going to be talking about kind of our plans for 2022. So if you want to check out that podcast, it'll be uploaded after this episode on our Patreon exclusive. But I'm looking forward to that as well. It's going to be great.
Yeah, $5 a month, guys. Patreon exclusive call-in shows, Patreon exclusive vlogs, and so much more. I want to talk about it now, but we can't. We're going to save that for later. Second service is coming after this. Cosmo Reverb already in the chat. Evening, boys. Can't stick around long tonight, but happy to catch the start. Dude, thanks for showing up again, my man.
Shout out to Cosmo.
Shout out to Cosmo, man. You are our first Patreon exclusive Churchcoin better. We will be getting into that more when we get into our preview show a little bit later, but first we got the award show. Thank you so much, my guy. We cannot wait for this competition. You're already talking shit. I love it, but you ain't winning, bro.
Ooh.
You ain't winning. I'm going to say that right
Tabor's
now.
already calling it right now, guys.
All right. Devin, before we start this preview show, can you fix Mason's camera? It's triggering me that he's fucking over to one side.
Yeah, if you just want to angle it this way, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sorry,
so
guys.
No, it's all good. We do it live. We do it live.
We do.
This is technical difficulties that happens. We're working out all the kinks, but compared to what we were at 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Dude, I go back and watch those episodes sometimes. Yeah. It's fun.
It is
I like
fun.
watching them.
It is fun to see how much we've grown and developed, but man, some of those early ones were really rough. They were rough, man. But
yeah, fantastic year. Real quick before we get into this award show, are we doing a fight companion this weekend?
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
announce that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, guys, fight companions. Anytime I can do a fight companion, I am doing a fight companion. Anytime Tabor can do a fight companion, he'll do a fight companion. That's what I do. That's what I live for. Like, I was just talking about this, Tabor, right before we started about the break that we had. It was a good break. Whatever. We got to spend time with the family and do all that kind of stuff. But this is our family too, and I missed the hell out of this podcast, and I was so excited all day to finally get back in studio after, a 2-week break?
Yeah, it's been a long
felt like
time.
eternity, I swear. It felt like a few months since we've done this, so I'm ready to get back to it.
Absolutely. And we got to start with the 2021 MMA Awards show. Is this like almost weird to do because there's always that lull at the end of the season. I want to call it a season. It's really not. At the end of the year, we always get like a 6-week break of fights, which killed me on the inside. Yeah. Because after that Derek Lewis card, I fucking was like, okay, what's next weekend? Nothing.
What's the weekend after that? Nothing. Oh, what's the weekend after that? Nothing. Having 3 weeks with no fights is one of the worst things possible. I fucking hate it. I don't know how we got through the COVID thing when it first started, remember?
I listened back to those episodes. We were depressed.
We were straight up depressed, bro, because we didn't have any fights.
We're like, the world's over. It's
Yeah.
ending.
If you take away our MMA, what else do we have to live for?
Nothing. I almost killed myself.
Actually.
I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, you
YouTube's going to ban us.
Again, joke.
That was a joke.
If you need to, call 1-800 the awareness.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Let's jump into these awards, man. Let's do this. Where do we want to begin, Tabor?
As always, submission of the year, Mason. How do you want to do this?
So
I'll just give mine, and then we can debate it. Maybe.
I think what we should do. Let's just
explain.
Let's just read off the nominations real quick, and then we'll go with our submissions of the year. Each one of us are going to pick one because it's a Fight Fan podcast, guys, and everyone has a different award that they want to give to a different one, and it leaves debates open. I think it'll be a good time. So here we go. Submission of the year. Here are the nominees. Teixeira versus Blachowicz. Luque versus Woodley. Figueredo versus Moreno 2. Hamzat versus Jing Liang. Poirier versus Oliveira. Luque versus Chiesa. Pena versus Nunes, Paul Craig versus Hill, and Nunes versus Souza. So, Tabor, what is your submission of the year?
This was an extremely difficult one to pick. Like, I'm going to be 100%. Like, there was some fantastic submissions. I mean, just right off the top of my head, Paul Craig and Hill snapped his arm in half.
Yeah.
Pena Nunes, the greatest upset of all time.
And how technical that submission was by Paul Craig as well. So, there's a lot of technically sound submissions that we can go through. But the way I'm kind of doing the awards, as far as like my perspective, being a fight fan, is an accumulation. Unless there's like a knockout that's just so crazy or submission so wild that you would have to pick that, like that DJ submission where he jumped up. Like that's a crazy submission regardless if that's a title fight or not. But for me in this award, I'm kind of doing everything that encompasses this submission. So Tabor, let's go with yours first. What is your submission of the year?
It's got to be my favorite one. And shout out to Kevin Weeks. Welcome back, boys. Hope the break was good. Speaking of breaks, it was fantastic, but this break wasn't. It was my submission of the year is Andre Muniz, Jacare Souza, dude. That fucking arm break, that snap, dude, you heard it. Their commentators are sitting there freaking out, and you still hear the arm pop.
That was a UFC Apex too, so a pin could drop.
Dude, that was insane. And everyone thought Souza was going to have a huge comeback victory over this man, and this man dominated a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. Yeah. That has to be my submission of the year, dude. The way, the noise it made. That was like Nogueira and Frank Mir. Remember that? The Kimura when his arm fucking snapped and you heard it and saw the muscles and... That was that kind of level of submission there. And there's so many good submissions. I mean, Khamzat Chimaev, Jing Liang, the way he just put him to fucking sleep. Yeah. This was an extremely hard one for me to pick, but I had to go with Muniz Souza just because like it was insane and the noise it made, it made my skin crawl.
Yeah, for me, this award was so hard for me to choose. But again, as I said, I'm going to take everything surrounding these submissions. I want to go through I want to just touch up on a couple. Pena versus Nunes, right? A huge moment in the sport. The biggest underdog to be able to come back, or not even come back, but to just outperform one of the most dominant champs in the history of the sport. To be able to submit her was huge. You also had the Figueredo versus Moreno when Moreno sunk it. When he and you go back and watch that fight, when he sunk that in, he knew. You could see his body get all excited and really tighten up. A huge moment in the sport. And then you have Teixeira versus Blachowicz for Glover to go out there at 41, 42 years old and submit the light heavyweight champion of the world. So for me, and I gotta put some respect on Luque too. Luque had 2 really impressive subs this year.
Yeah.
Man. One against Woodley, which say what you will with Woodley, but that choke was beautiful, and the way that he executed that was really top notch jiu-jitsu. And then to go out there again against a jiu-jitsu fiend like Michael Chiesa and submit Chiesa as well. I mean, Luque is dangerous everywhere, and I think he proved that. But my submission of the year, everything surrounding it, the true underdog story, I have to go with Teixeira versus Blachowicz on this one. I understand the technical side, Tabor, of Jacare, and I think that's a great pick. But for me and everything surrounding this, how I've counted Glover out for 3 fights in a row, and he goes out there and beats the light heavyweight champion of the world. It's one of my favorite stories of all time in the UFC. Like, it's literally a Rocky film where it's like the old guy goes out there and shocks the world. But he didn't just shock the world once. He shocked the world 3 times, 4 times in a row. I mean, shout out to Glover Teixeira. You win submission of the year, in my opinion. And not even for the technical aspects of that choke.
It wasn't a very technical choke.
No, it wasn't.
And he tapped almost immediately. I'm not trying to shit on that. I think it's a great pick, but you're right. It's the story and the background of everything that goes into that.
And that was my biggest thing, and that's why I gave the award to Teixeira, because he literally said that's what he was going to do, and then he went out there and did it. You know, you could make the same case for Juliana Pena as well. I want to put some respect on her too, but I had to give it to Teixeira just with everything surrounding that.
What about you, Devin? You got any opinion on that?
I would have to say I agree with Mason on the submission of the year for that. We looked at each other earlier when we were discussing this, and I was just like, how could I forget? I mean, like he said, man, that story is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, groundbreaking history. I got to go with Teixeira on that one as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it was just the reason why it wasn't on my radar. It's just I mean, he was fucking them up, and Jan just gave up.
Yeah. I think for my biggest, the most surprise submission of the year, I would have to go with the Luque Chiesa.
Yeah,
for sure.
I did not see that.
I did not see Luque choking out Chiesa at all. The fact he was able to do that is super impressive.
Absolutely. That was a great one. Let's move on to knockout of the year.
All right.
So let's just read off, I guess, all of them, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So we got Francis and Stipe 2, Roberts and Bahamondes. I've totally butchered that name. Reyes Prochazka, Lewis Blades, Oliveira Chandler, O'Malley Almeida, Poirier McGregor 2, Sandhagen. That was a leg snap. Oh, no, that was 3. Never mind. Sandhagen Edgar. Oh, fuck, I totally forgot about that one.
Yep.
How do you forget about that one? Oh, my God.
Yep.
Masvidal and Usman 2.
Yeah.
Dude, that. Oh, and of course, Pettis and Horiguchi. You got to throw that one in there.
Right. So I think unquestionably that one for Bellator is the best knockout that year. Yeah. And I went through and watched a bunch of knockout videos for 2021 for Bellator, but that one was incredible. That spinning incredible. Back fist, dude, perfectly timed, right on the jaw, just dropped him. So yeah, shout out to Pettis for Bellator, dude. Yeah, knockout of the year, unquestionably.
This is another hard one. This is really hard. There's so many good ones. I'll let you go first here.
Okay, cool. So obviously, this one I'm actually going to take a little bit different approach than the submission of the year. You know, you could go for a knockout of the year and everything that encompasses a giant fight. You know, you could go with the Francis versus Stipe 2. You could also do, Usman Masvidal, because these are title fights. So this one was really, really close between Sandhagen versus Edgar and Roberts versus Bahamondes. God, I'm butchering his name. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I kept watching those knockouts time and time again, but I got to go with the Roberts KO, dude. That spinning kick was beautiful and just knocked him out fucking cold. I was like, oh my God, I'm praying for this guy. Sandhagen versus Edgar was a close second for me, man. It goes back and forth, but I thought both knockouts were awesome. So those are my knockouts of the year, or knockout of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough for me. I mean, Oliveira Chandler was fucking amazing. Poirier McGregor too was fucking awesome, just because, like, I just don't like McGregor that much. I almost picked that just because of that. But that would be a troll because I truly don't believe it was knockout of the year. But Usman Masvidal too? Are you shitting me? Knocked out the guy who's never been knocked out ever?
When the photos afterwards of all the sweat just flying off of Masvidal, it was great.
And we can't forget Reyes Prochazka. Dude, the double elbow to spinning elbow. That was insane. And that was a fucking fantastic fight before that too.
Yep.
But I have to pick it. It's Pettis and Horiguchi, dude.
Wow, okay.
It's Pettis and Horiguchi. That spinning back fist out of fucking nowhere to flatline a man who was beating your ass for 4 straight rounds beforehand for a world title.
And a title fight, yeah.
That was insane. That has to be my knockout of the year. I know it was towards the end of the year, and people are going to say, oh, the recency bias. But, dude, that was like just the storyline behind that, too. Horiguchi finally coming back to Bellator to defend his real belt. I think he got stripped by injury. Came back, got an immediate title shot, beating Pettis' ass for 4 rounds. And then Pettis goes to his corner, and the guy goes, you're losing this fight. Mm-hmm. You need to finish it.
Very honest with him.
You're going to fucking lose this fight unless you go do something spectacular. And he goes, okay, watch this. Hold my beer. And he did it. It was just absolutely insane. I love that knockout.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next
segment. Devin, do you have a KO of the year?
Look, guys, this is really hard for me. I mean, you guys just rattled off some of the best KOs of ever, in my opinion, and this is super hard. But the one that got me most excited is tough. I guess you could say winner by split decision would be the Usman Masvidal knockout. I mean, just we were so hyped for that, watching that. It was unexpected. Like you guys said, to knock out the man who's never been knocked out, just a brawler. I mean, that got me up, excited, jumping. So I'm gonna have to go with the Usman, but
that's why I love it, because we all have different submissions of the year,
no disrespect
KOs of the year.
to any of the other fighters at all. I mean, they were great.
Of course, yeah.
That Yuri one was brutal.
That was insane.
Brutal. I mean, they were all great, but I'm going to have to go with the Usman knockout.
And I wouldn't disagree with you there either. And that's just a testament to just how good this year was.
Yeah.
How many awesome KOs, how many submissions. I mean, this was, it might be hyperbolic, but I'm just going to say this is the best year in MMA history.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. Like, it was just every card
big C, little V or not.
Yeah.
Like, it was phenomenal year. Like, one of the best years I can even think of. It was fantastic. And 2020 as well. Even with Big Break, that layover, 2020 was fantastic as well.
Yeah, it was.
2021, I think, topped it. 2022, the bangers they're announcing already. I fucking can't wait.
Cannot wait.
Cannot wait. Let's move on to biggest loser of 2021.
Which is a staple on our podcast. This is an award we give. Yep. And Tabor gets to hit that. It will. So for this award, that's
every 2
initially,
seconds.
I think that's when we introduced the fart button was on our award show last year. So
I think so. I think you're right.
So, yeah.
I think you're right. We also, that was when we did the next one. We can't wait to push that.
So here is Tabor's biggest loser of 2021.
It's obvious. It's obvious. It's Conor McGregor, dude. And when he loses his next fight,
Who the fuck is that guy?
he's gone. And I can't wait. I'm not even trying to just troll right now. Like, okay, let's think about it. Lost to Dustin Poirier, got knocked the fuck out in January.
Yep.
Talked all that shit. Went from nice Conor, they were hugging, being cool.
Switching proper 12, the hot sauce.
The hot sauce. Everyone was all buddy.
Kumbaya.
And then he's like, fuck your wife. She's a bitch. Mm-hmm. And fuck you and your kids and your organization. Instant animosity.
Yeah.
Thought that would work for him.
And then didn't donate to the charity, all that shit surrounding it.
I totally forgot about that.
However, I have to, full disclosure, he did give money to a foundation.
A different charity.
Yeah, a different charity, but.
Like, he thought that was going to fucking piss him off. Like, bro, you're donating to people. Like, he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. Like, either way, the money's not going to him. It's going to the families in need.
Yeah, it's got to be Conor, dude. And all the bullshit with, I think he was in drama again outside, and he was talking shit to Khabib's dad.
Trying to pick a fight with MGK, which is a scrawny little rapper.
And then he goes and snaps his leg in half in the third fight.
Yeah.
God, that was nice. It's Conor McGregor, dude. He's the biggest loser of 2021, in my opinion. 0-2. 0-4 in his... No, I guess 0-3 in his last 3. I'm very happy.
So my award for the biggest loser of 2021, this actually pains me because I'm actually a big fan of the guy. I've rooted for him throughout his career. He was a very underappreciated champion. But my loser of 2021 goes to Tyron Woodley. Got destroyed against Vicente Luque. Lost both times to Jake Paul. My biggest loser is unquestionably Tyron Woodley. However, he's not a loser in making money because he made a fuck ton of money this year. And kudos to you, Tyron. And kudos to the fact that you control yourself online, but I just got to be honest, be real here. Like, whose stock has dropped so much since being the 4-time defending welterweight champion of the world to what has transpired over the course of 2021 and 2019 and 2020. It's rough, man. I got to go with Tyron Woodley, biggest loser of 2021.
That's a great pick as well because I can't think of a faster fall from grace.
Yeah.
Which
is unfortunate.
One.
I hate it.
You go from world champion to getting knocked out by a YouTube boxer.
Yeah.
Eesh.
It's a fall from grace.
Absolutely. That's a great pick. That's
Thank
a
you.
great pick. That should have been mine. You're right. Go ahead, Devin. What do you got?
This one was hard for me because I wasn't sure at all, and I really had to think about it, but it pains me to say this. But I also might have to agree with Tabor on this, and I'm not a Conor hater, but all the reasons you listed off, you can't really argue with those facts.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for the guy?
It's Dustin 4 or fucking Cowboy 3 or 2 or whatever.
Or Nate.
Come on,
Or the Nate trilogy.
Come on,
The Diaz
man.
trilogy.
That fight's not happening, I don't think. I don't think that fight's ever going to happen.
No, I don't think so either.
Unfortunately, it does suck. But yeah, it's Conor McGregor or Tyron. Can you even think of anyone else that would even be?
I was thinking about mentioning John Jones just because he hasn't fought at all. And after all that hype with going to heavyweight and whatnot, it was just like,
yeah, and then the BS. And
it was a lot of shit. Yeah.
But I can't. You don't want to pile on the guy any more than
I do.
Okay, well.
Whoops, my bad.
See?
We are not done with the show yet, guys. Contrary
Just
to
end it right
the
there.
end song there. Yeah, we're like, as soon as John Jones brings up, and that's the show.
I'm
everyone.
gonna say some shit. We gotta end it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next award.
Who's going to come beat your ass in Arizona?
Well, I don't think the drive from New Mexico is too long.
No, he's in Arizona now. He's in Phoenix.
Oh, fuck, that's right. Yeah,
So
he was
funny.
Training with Cejudo?
Yeah.
I ain't moving to Arizona now. That boy, John Jones sees me. He's gonna beat my ass. All the shit I've said about that guy. So
I'll beat your ass.
beat your ass.
beat your
Has
ass.
yet to beat
Tyrant.
any ass.
All right. Yeah, dude. So fun fact before we move on.
He hasn't won a fight since he
released that song.
I know. I know. Trust me. I know. It pains me.
He's
to
laughing
admit
all the way to the
irony.
bank. He's laughing all the way to the bank.
The
That is true.
irony.
It is true.
Not
Fuck
only
us.
will he go down as biggest loser of 2021, but he'll probably go down as the worst rapper of 2021 as well because Jesus Christ, his music is fucking trash.
Come on, man. The Island Boys drop.
Yeah,
Island Boys song is better than I'll beat your ass.
Stop it.
Yo, stop.
Yes.
Bro,
You're
stop.
done.
No,
that is.
You're done.
I will not stand for such debauchery on this podcast. No. I'll beat your ass is better than the
it's
fucking
not.
Island Boy.
I would agree.
What's the
with
song?
Island Boy.
Okay, what was the song where he's like, I'm falling in and out of love, in and out of
You
love
liked
you.
that one when I played it like last month. Don't
Yeah, after
lie.
he
The
got
beat
beat
is
up.
good. The beat is good, but Jesus, he's not a good rapper.
My God.
He's not a good
Tyron,
rapper.
I love you,
I'd
bro.
rather
You're
listen
a
to
good
fucking
rapper.
Future.
Yeah, Tyron, it really did, bro. Like, straight up. It pained me to give you that award, but I got to be honest, got to be real as a fan. It is what it is.
All right, let's move on.
It is what it is.
Let's move on to best card of the year. Top 5, actually. I think we're
Yeah.
going to rank them. So I'll start
Let's
off.
do top 5.
I'll start off with number 5. UFC 263, Adesanya and Vettori 2. This was a pretty good card.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really like the main event that much. We all knew it was going to be a 50-45 situation. That's exactly what it was. A 50-45 situation. Marvin had zero fucking chance in that. But the co-main event, Davison Figueredo, Brandon Moreno, the ass beating of a lifetime that Brandon Moreno put on Davison, no one saw that coming besides me in this room. But it was very interesting to see how he just put him to bed after fucking him up on the face or on the feet. And then we get Leon Edwards and Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to go that way too until the very last round, I guess. He almost knocked Leon out and then pointed at him, was like, oh, I clowned you. And I was like, you fucking idiot. You could have finished the fight right there. It pissed me off. Damian Maia, Bilal Muhammad, Paul Craig. Jamal Hill. This was a great card, man.
Yeah, it really was. 263 gets our number 5 spot. So moving on to number 4, we ranked UFC 269 as the number 4, the top 5 pay-per-views of 2021. And let me just start with the prelims on this card because this thing is stacked. Augusto Sakai versus Tai Tuivasa. That second round KO was vicious. You had that Pedro Munoz, Dominic Cruz fight. Great fight. Josh Emmett with the decision over Dan Ige. We're still in the prelims. This is bonkers. Rulian Paiva versus Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley getting the job done. That KO in the first round. Kai Kara France versus Cody Garbrandt. Kai Kara France KO in the first round. Jeff Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Yep.
That split decision. And then the greatest upset of 2021, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena becomes the new undisputed bantamweight champion of the world. Are you fucking kidding me or what? And then for the main event, Charles Oliveira, the underdog who was the champion. Dustin Poirier coming in. Coming in. Everyone thinks he is the real champ. And Charles goes out there and gets the job done. UFC 269 table was a phenomenal card from start to finish.
It was a fantastic way to end off the pay-per-view year. It really was. It really was. We're only doing pay-per-view cards, by the way, for these guys.
Yeah, just for these. Next year, we're going to add the fight night of the year because I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I do as
Because
well.
there were so many great
fight nights.
You know, Devin brought it up earlier, but that Corey Sandhagen, TJ Dillashaw fight night.
It was insane.
Are you fucking kidding me? Mm-hmm. Are you fucking kidding me? That was a fight night? That card was stacked from top to bottom. So next year, we will do fight night of the year for sure.
Absolutely.
You want to do number 3?
I will do number 3. UFC 267. Jan Blachowicz, Glover Teixeira. The absolute ass-beating Glover Teixeira put on the Polish Power. Polish Power was not there that night. Yep. He just got fucked up on the feet, and then he finished him on the ground, made him quit. That was absolutely fantastic. The story, the background, everything you mentioned before in that submission of the year talk, it was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And then you get the interim championship, bantamweight championship of the world with Petr Yan and Corey Sandhagen. That's a fight of the year contender.
Absolutely. That was 5 really terrific rounds.
That was fantastic. Yeah. And it showed you how good Petr Yan really is because he sneakily makes guys think they're in fights early, and then he puts it on them at the end and fucks them up.
Well, you're totally right. Sandhagen was, in my opinion, it's been a little while since I've rewatched the fight, but was winning rounds 1 and 2. And then for Petr Yan to come out and just finish as strong as he does in those championship rounds is so impressive, man.
It's insane. And then you get Islam Makhachev, Dan Hooker with the first round Kimura. That was absolutely awesome and insane. Alexander Volkov, Marcin Tybura. That was a great 3-round matchup. Li Jingliang, Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev's return after a long layoff from COVID after the 2020 that man had.
Yep.
Insane. Absolutely insane. That was a crazy rear naked choke. Li Jingliang, shout out to you, my guy. I know you lost that fight, but you're a fucking man. He was not tapping.
Yeah, the
there.
Leech is a stud.
Absolute stud. Magomed Ankalaev and Volkan Ozdemir.
Oh my God, bro. Ankalaev, that's a guy, future champion one day.
Absolutely.
I really do believe that. I really do. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a fantastic card. One of the better cards of the year, I would say, absolutely. And it was a free card on ESPN Plus, a pay-per-view caliber card.
That was that Halloween card, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
that was awesome. And then the very next week, what did we go into? I believe that's our number
268. Yes. So I have number 2 here. Was UFC 268. You had, I'll just start from the bottom. To open up this pay-per-view, Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler.
Oh, my God.
Which we'll talk about the fights of the year, the fight of the year. But, guys, you know this is a nominee. This fight was absolutely insane. The 3 rounds that we got from these two was just bonkers. Then you had the Shane Burgos versus Billy Quarantillo fight that lasted all 3 rounds, a really terrific fight. Then you had Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera, and Marlon Vera with that head kick KO. Oh, God. Rose Namajunas defending, I should say, her belt against Zhang Wei Li in that split decision. And then to top it all off, you had Camaro Usman versus Colby Covington 2.
Another great fight.
Another just awesome fight all the way around, dude. This card was great, and this was a card we were super hyped for too. And you know, we bet on the Whitman parlay and we hit it. It was a great night, man.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Great night of fights.
I love that one. And of course, the card of the year. UFC 261. I don't know how this isn't one. I don't know how it's not number one. Like, we can't pick fucking, what's your best card? What's my best card? No, it was this one.
Yeah.
Hands down. Hands down. Everyone knows this. Everyone's picking this card. Camaro Usman, Jorge Masvidal, the knockout heard round the world. Yeah. And it was the first pay-per-view back in front of a crowd.
It was. The very first one.
Milestones.
Yeah.
And that adds to it. And then you get Zhang Wei Li, Rosenama the first round head kick. Are you fucking kidding me?
Wild. No one saw that fight going that way. And keep in mind, this was the first fight since the Joanna Zhang Wei Li fight. So everyone's expecting this 5-round banger, an instant classic, just like that fight. And what happens? Rose goes out there in the first round, head kick KO.
Mesmerized her.
It was wild. Absolutely
That footwork was insane. The footwork mesmerized her and fucking lulled Zhang into thinking she was safe. And no, you were never safe with Rose. That was absolutely insane. One of my favorite knockouts of the year. Yep. Valentina Shevchenko, Jessica Andrade. Oh yeah, this was a 3 title fight card. Mm-hmm. Valentina just fucking demolishing one of the scariest women we've ever seen in the lighter weight classes.
And that was so surprising. I mean, I had Valentina to win that fight. Don't get me wrong, but the way she did it, the way she just pummeled Andrade, I was like, oh, good God.
Powerful.
Yeah, powerful. Powerful
Absolutely.
stuff, man.
Just it showed that this woman is in a class of her own.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, there's no one in the world that can compete with her right now. No one.
No.
Amanda Nunes is about it. Maybe Juliana Pena now. But that's for another day.
Valentina moves up and takes on Juliana Pena.
And takes the belt and beats her, takes the belt, and then they have to do a Nunes Valentina. That's how you do it, guys.
That's how you do it. Because
that's the fight we all want. How many times have we said, she's just got to fight Nunes again? I want to see it. I want to see it.
Here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing, Jack. If Valentina Shevchenko versus Juliana Pena, right? Mm-hmm. You take the winner of that fight, regardless, Amanda's next in line.
Yes.
Regardless. So either way,
matter.
it's a great matchup. You get the rematch against Juliana Pena, or you do the trilogy with Valentina.
And think of the disrespect Amanda would take. Oh, she's like, wait, you're not giving me the immediate rematch? You're going to let this bitch come up that I beat twice?
Yeah,
I thought she didn't lose in the second fight.
No, the second fight, yeah. The second fight's a different story, but that would be a little fucked up to do to the GOAT. But
it is what it is.
I'd be down. I'd totally be down for that. Fucking sign me the fuck up. But we cannot forget.
Oh, no, we can't.
The ultimate irony. Are you Uriah Hall, Chris Weidman, the leg snap heard around the world? That was worse than the fucking. That should be a submission,
bro. That break was the gnarliest break I've seen in the UFC, outside of the Anderson Silva Chris Weidman break. But I think this one was worse because he not just wrapped his leg around Uriah Hall's shin, he then tried to step back
he did the same. It was literally the exact same thing that happened, but he was on the other end.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what?
Yeah.
That's the world saying that karma exists.
But it's not like karma where it's Weidman did anything bad necessarily. It's just so weird. It's just so weird
crazy.
The way the world works, man. It's just for that specific injury to happen to the same guy who it caused, beating quite possibly the greatest middleweight of all time, is just fucking wild. It was so wild, man. This card was insane. This card was insane. And then we obviously have the Anthony Smith, Jimmy Crute fight.
Back-to-back leg destructions.
Yeah, I know, dude. I remember watching that, doing a fight campaign for that. I was like, I don't know if I want to continue this card. Are we going to get another break? Are we going to get some fucking crazy shit? I was not a fan of that, man. Oh,
it was horrific. It was that every single fight on this card was a finish, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Which also adds to it.
Adds to why it was number one for us.
It was absolutely insane. And then, just the fucking prelims were fantastic. Carl Robinson, Brendan Allen, Dwight Grant, Stefan, some weird name, Alex Oliveira versus Randy Brown. This was choke. These were insane fucking fights. This is a card that will go down in UFC history, not only because it was the first fight back with a crowd, big crowd, also in an arena in Florida, only place to do it. Florida man strong. But just the way everything finished, man. This is a very memorable card. And this is a card that will go down in UFC history as probably one of the best ever.
Wow.
It has to.
Yeah,
off the top of my head, UFC 100 was pretty cool, but was it better than this? No. Was UFC, there's so many cards, but this tops them all, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we should move on. Or do you have anything to say about that card, Devin, before we move on?
No, I completely agree with you guys. I mean, just back to back to back to back to back again. I mean, that card was an absolute banger, as the kids are saying these days. I mean, how can you not love it? And it will go down in history, or already has, as one of the best cards, and it's going to be hard to top. But
Yeah.
alas, that's the fun and challenge of the game, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, it is time.
All right, here it is. Our second year of doing this award. We had to do the award, and this is also the 1 year anniversary of when this sound came on the soundboard. But it is the
Who the fuck is that guy?
award. Tabor, go ahead.
So this is an award that we started last year. This is something that, like, we just pick a guy that might be an unknown guy or an up-and-coming guy, a guy that we say, hey, this guy's going to have a fantastic 2022. Watch him. And I'm sure, like, you know, mainly in the casual's eyes, because hardcores know everybody. You name a guy no one's ever fucking heard of, though, hardcore, and he's like, yeah, I've watched his entire career.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're a more casual guy, these are guys that maybe you don't know that you should watch because they're on our radar for sure. Mine is kind of, I had a hard time, like, because I really wanted to pick Patty the Batty, but it's like everyone knows who Patty the Batty is.
Right.
Like, everyone knows this guy. He's got way too much hype. And then my runner-up was a guy I was like, he's got a lot of hype too. But I got to go with him. My pick for the Who the Fuck is that guy award, it's Conor McGregor's homeboy, Ian Gary, undefeated welterweight, made his UFC debut last year, was getting his ass kicked in his debut also. Getting his ass kicked.
Early in the first,
and then he landed a fucking right hand from hell, flatlined his opponent, and it was absolutely insane. He stole a lot of hype. People are saying this guy's got Conor hype. I don't see that level of hype yet. People are trying to build him up as the next Conor McGregor. I don't see that. I think Patty the Batty has way more hype than Ian Gary, in my opinion. But this is a guy that I really am looking forward to watch because he gets in firefights, and I can't wait. I just can't wait. And it's in one of the most difficult divisions in the UFC, period, in welterweight.
All right, my
Who the fuck is that guy?
award goes to a bantamweight fighter. You know, this guy came on the scene in 2019 on the fight night, Hermanson versus Cannonier, with a third round submission rear naked choke against Hernandez, and has since gone undefeated, now 4-0 in the UFC. There's a lot of promise behind this guy. He is 15-0 right now in his professional mixed martial arts career, and that is none other than Jack Tank Shore. Mm-hmm. This is the Wales fighter. This guy is the real deal, man. You look at his stats here. He's got 4 KOs, TKOs, 8 submissions, and only 3 decisions in his career. This guy finishes fights. And I'm very much looking forward to his future. And he's got a very hard fight coming up against Umar Nurmagomedov.
Oh, fuck.
Who's also undefeated, 13-0. So I cannot wait to see that fight.
Absolutely. And I love your honorable mention you put here, Jordan Levitt.
Yes. I love Jordan
That
Levitt.
guy's fucking awesome. And,
He's awesome.
And he broke out on the scene with that. Remember, he picked the guy up and just smashed him and KO'd him? Mm-hmm. That was
KO
absolutely
slam.
insane.
That was Hermanson versus Vittori. Yeah.
And then he got a crazy submission after that. That's a guy I really want to watch too. But I believe he trains with Roxanne Modafferi out of that gym.
Well,
He's a weird character, just like her.
Seriously, Google if you don't know who Jordan Levitt is, Google a picture of this guy. He is the most non-assuming human being. He looks like a drama nerd.
He is a drama nerd. I think he was actually at one point.
He looks like a theater kid, like this scrawny kid that you would see and you'd be like, yeah, dude, I could slam that guy, no problem. But this guy, he's no fucking joke. He's 9-1 in the 9-1 in his professional career. He's had 1 KO, 6 submissions, and 2 decisions. He had a little bit of a setback this year with 1 loss, but then came right back and got that beautiful inverted triangle choke against Matt Sales. So that's my honorable mention for Who the Fuck Is That Guy award.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's move on to Breakout Fighter of 2020. This one was hard for me because there's a lot of people that I think.
2020 or 2021?
Oh, I'm sorry, 2021. My bad. It says 2020 there. I'm like the teleprompter reader and Anchorman.
Colon.
I love that. But this was a hard one for me, man. Like there's a lot of names that I can name right now, but one of them might be yours, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to tell you my pick right now. It's Bilal Muhammad, dude. Yeah. It has to be Bilal. Remember the name Muhammad. I've known this man for a long time. You know, he's been in fighting the UFC since like 2016, I believe. But this was his breakout year, man. Dominated Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Dominated Damian Maia. God, I poked by Leon Edwards. Moving on. And then he beat Diego Lima. It's essentially 3-0 on the year. You can forget about the Leon Edwards fight. He should have won that fight. It should have been a disqualification. It wasn't. He got eye poked twice. They called it a no contest. It is what it is. But, you know, who knows? He could have, maybe, he was getting his ass kicked in that fight. Let's be real. He was getting his ass kicked. But maybe if he got it down to the ground, maybe he could have found more success. The way he dominated Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, I haven't seen anybody do that to that man. Like, not even Gilbert Burns, the number 1 or number 2 contender in the welterweight division, did that to him. So I'm very hyped on Bilal. I'm very excited for his next fight. I cannot wait to see his future. And he's a legitimate top 5 contender in this division.
Well, yeah, he's in the rankings now at 5 or 6. So let's go.
Shout out to Tanner for the super chat.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
we got
shout
a
out to
super
Tanner.
chat.
Thank you so much, my guy.
Oh, thank you, Tweez, with the super chat or super sticker there. We appreciate you, dude. Thanks for watching.
Yes. All of that money, guys, goes to hookers and cocaine.
Speaking of hookers, my breakout fighter of 2021, his last opponent was Dan Hooker, and that is Islam Makhachev for the breakout fighter of 2021. Now, look, I understand Islam is a top 5 guy, and you're like, why would you pick this guy for a breakout fighter of the year? He's in the top 15. Well, there's a little problem. Yeah,
he wasn't for a long time.
He wasn't. And there's a little problem called no one wants to fight this guy.
Yeah.
He can't get a fight anywhere. And taking Dan Hooker on that stage on short notice and then being able to submit him in the first round and show his true dominance against a top 10 guy in this lightweight division really set the tone for who Islam Makhachev is. He's now got a massive fight against Beneil Dariush in the works. So he just had a fantastic 2021. I mean, Drew Dober. That arm triangle choke. And then in July against Thiago Moises, he had another rear naked choke. And then in October 30th, the first round Kimura. I mean, Islam Makhachev is the breakout fighter of the year. Probably should have been the breakout fighter in 2020, but no one wanted to fight the guy. No one wanted to take this guy on. But you definitely see the greatness of Islam and what his future potential could be in this lightweight division.
Yeah, and we have to give an honorable mention to Charles Oliveira, the lightweight champ, dude.
Yeah, okay.
He needs to be in this conversation as well.
So that was my pick. That was my initial pick. The only reason I did not go with Charles. Now, if you go back to our episodes a year and a half ago, because I do go back sometimes and listen to old episodes, before he even had a title fight, before anything, I was saying Charles Oliveira is the dark horse in this lightweight division. Not even like no title fights or anything so long ago. But that was towards the end of like 2020. And then 2021, he had 2 title fights. So that's why I didn't have him the breakout fighter of the year. But I mean, if anyone deserves props, it's Charles Oliveira. I mean, his story, where he came from, the trials and tribulations he's had throughout his career, people saying he was a quitter, people saying that he would never fight for a world title because he can't handle the pressure. And for this guy to go out there to beat Michael Chandler and then to go out there and beat the guy that everyone thought should be the champ at lightweight with Khabib Nurmagomedov retiring, and to go out there and also submit him, like a beautiful story. And Charles definitely deserves our respect. I totally agree.
Did you know he's not legally blind, but he's 50% blind in both eyes?
Yep.
He can only see 50% without his glasses.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
It is crazy, dude.
That's just absolutely insane. That's some Michael Bisping shit.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to fighter of the, unless do you have something to chime in with, Devin, or no?
This one was hard for me as well, but I'm going to throw in an honorable mention for Yuri.
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah, that's a great
knockout.
pick.
That's a great pick.
I mean, plus he's fighting, you know.
He's fighting for the title next.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just has to, for me, it just has to be Yuri.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he just came over from Ryzen not too long ago. That's an awesome pick. I didn't even, which he's in our KO of the year. Obviously, he's fighting for a title. That's something that we should have thought of, but absolutely. Jiri Prochazka is your pick for breakout fighter.
I thought he was kind of slept on. I still think he is, to be honest. But
which is wild because he's such an entertaining fighter. But yeah, no, you're totally right. That's a great selection.
I think this title fight's about to be
I can't wait.
Insane.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I cannot wait
it'll
for
be
that fight. I'm so
hyped.
I'm so hyped for that fight. Please, MMA gods, let's make it soon. Let's make it very soon. Okay, let's move on to Fighter of the Year. This is an easy one for me.
Oh, whoops.
I'm just gonna get right into it.
Yeah.
It's Camaro Usman.
Yep. Usman.
It's
that was mine too.
But Usman.
Yep.
Like, okay, let's break it down. Gilbert Burns almost gets finished in the first round. Comes back, knocks him out with a fucking jab.
Yeah.
Okay. Credit to you, Usman.
You've
gotten way better. Trevor Whitman's working. Moving on. Jorge Masvidal knocks out a man that has never been knocked out his entire career. People are saying was the best boxer in the entire division. Outboxed him. Knocked him the fuck out.
Yep.
Instantly erased everything people were saying. This man's a boring fighter. He just takes people down and dominates them on the ground. Now he's a boxer.
Yep.
Colby Covington, his most competitive fight to date. The rematch of the century. The rematch everyone was excited for. Can Colby find more success? Are they going to wrestle or are they going to stand and bang? That's got to be a Fight of the Year contender as well, or at least an honorable mention there, because that was a fantastic matchup. Still, the only competitive fight we have seen Camaro Usman in. But the the Fighter of the Year did what he does, and he makes sure he gets that victory. That was an easy 3-2 for Usman there.
Yep.
But it was competitive. I cannot discredit Colby or disrespect him there. It was competitive, but he did win easily in that opinion. It's got to be Usman, dude. He could be breakout fighter of the year too, but I mean, he was already the champ.
Right.
People already knew of him and all that shit. And then you have other people, but I mean, easily fighter of the year. There's no one else in my opinion.
I totally agree with that. I do want to bring up some honorable mentions real quick. I echo those sentiments absolutely for Camaro Usman. That was my fighter of the year, unquestionably. I mean, what this guy's able to do, pound for pound, greatest fighter in the UFC right now, unquestionably, my personal opinion, and the opinion of the UFC. But honorable mentions here, we'd be remiss if we didn't bring up Charles Oliveira, obviously, with the Chandler win, and then to go out there and beat Dustin Poirier. We've been over that. And then Glover Teixeira as well.
Yeah.
I mean, to say that guy doesn't deserve at least an honorable mention, I think you're doing him a disservice because no one expected that. At 41 years of age, turning 42, right? This guy goes out there and beats top competition and then goes and wins the belt. It's crazy story. So I think those are both great honorable mentions.
I have two more honorable mentions that I gotta put out there just because Juliana Pena with the upset of the fucking century.
Yeah.
Like, I know that was her only fight all year, but the way she did it, getting her ass beat in that first round, and then to come out in the second, fucking completely outclass Nunes on the feet. I'm going to say that again. Outclass Nunes on the feet.
It's hard to believe.
Tire her, break her, and then make her submit to one of the worst submissions all year.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking insane. She deserves all the respect there. Without a doubt, honorable mention for Fighter of the Year. If there was a female Fighter of the Year, it's hard to not pick her or my second honorable mention, Rose Namajunas.
Oh,
she has to be in there as well,
absolutely. Dude. Not just beating Zhang Weili once, but beating her twice.
Yes, an extremely competitive fight the second time as well. Gosh, that was a close fight. And a couple of those rounds, I just tossed my hands up. I was like, all right, Rose, maybe, I guess.
I mean, going back and rewatching that fight, I think Rose did win that fight. I think it was, I definitely think she won. But a competitive fight and a really good, and that was the fight we anticipated the first time around. So the fact that we got that the second time around was, it kind of put a closing chapter on that. It was just a great fight. So
absolutely.
Any other honorable mentions, Devin?
No, I definitely agree with you with the Camaro Usman, so I don't really have any other honorable mentions. I feel like you just dropped them all. You guys are ahead of it.
All right.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Let's move on to top 5 fights of the year. So are we going to do personal top 5s, or are we just going to agree on this one? Or you have your own top 5?
No. So your in mind 5 are the same. So let's just bring it up.
The 5 are the same?
Yep, 5
or
is,
the order is different?
No. Number 5 is the same. So your number 5 is my number 5.
Oh, cool. So then my number 5 is Holloway Rodriguez, dude. That was a fucking banger.
It was.
And I can't believe Yair Rodriguez was as competitive as he was with the greatest boxer in the UFC. We were all kind of expecting Max Holloway to go in there and beat his ass like he did with Calvin Kattar in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. And not only that, but I mean the way and the effectiveness of Yair Rodriguez. I mean, let's keep in mind. Let's remember Max Holloway and Calvin Kattar, right? Calvin couldn't touch Max. The fact that Yair was able to go out there and keep it super competitive and land massive shots on Max Holloway was super impressive, especially after the layoff that he had well over a year. To come back and have that much ferocity and no ring rust at all, or octagon rust, whatever you want to call it, was very impressive. And that's why this fight it checked all the boxes for me, man. This was one of my favorite fights of this year, and that's why it made my top 5.
Absolutely.
All right, what is your number 4, Tabor?
It's Burgos and Barboza.
Okay.
The fucking banger of the century, dude. And then the delayed knockout at the end was scary.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Really had me nervous there for Burgos. But, I mean, just the way this man just goes out there and just throws with reckless abandonment like that, it makes for extremely entertaining fights. And Edson Barboza, fucking complete savage that he is, to do that with that man, it deserves all the respect in the world there.
Yeah, my number 4, this was one of the greatest moments in podcast history, and we had a lot of laughs. People really enjoyed this. And that is the Ngannou versus Stipe 2 fight. Guys,
that's your fight of the year? One of your number 4 fight of the year?
That's number 4, yeah.
That's just personal. That's just got to be like your most entertaining for you, right?
Yeah, yes.
Because in terms of technicality and bangers,
right. And that's where maybe I am a little biased there, but I don't know. I think just everything surrounding that fight and the hype surrounding it and just how much fun, I mean, minus you, but how much fun we had on that fight.
I had a blast.
That is something that I'll always remember. That was one of the real moments in our podcast history where we were like, oh wow. Cause that kind of went viral, that KO reaction. We had 20,000 views or something on that. And that's when I was really like, wow, we could do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. So yeah, I'm a little biased there, but I thought that was number 4.
All right. Cool.
We have the same number 3 though.
Mine's Reyes Prochazka.
Yep.
It's got to be, dude. This is a tough year for fight of the year because that could easily be number 1 any other year. Mm-hmm. Any other year. The banger that was happening. So much damage on both sides. Reyes throwing. And then for Jiri to get the spinning elbow knockout. That was one of the most vicious knockouts I've ever seen. It was crazy. And this man's a savage. He's a samurai. I love the haircut. Without a doubt, one of the breakout fighters of the year. I cannot wait for him to fight Teixeira. This guy is absolutely amazing. I love me some Jiri Prochazka. And Reyes, I feel bad for Reyes, man.
Yeah, he's
fought
had a tough go.
Savages, the best of the best. I guess that's what happens when people say you beat John Jones, man. You only fight the top tier competition.
Yep, and that's the thing. Let's just say hypothetically Reyes wins that fight. He's the John Jones fight, okay? He would have been taking on a guy like Jiri Prochazka.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. When you get to that level, it's a whole new ball game. And but here's the thing, I'm not trying to disrespect Reyes at all. I think he's a top 5 guy, unquestionably. Yeah. Even after the losses that he has suffered. Because he's very competitive, he throws, he's just got to work on a few minor things, but he's still there. He's still young. He's still relevant in this division. I'm glad he's taking some time off. I don't even know if there's a fight scheduled with him still.
No,
but I think he definitely's got to take some time off. But that fight was bonkers, off the wall. We were so hyped for that one too. Because we saw the superstar potential of Jiri Prochazka very early on when he came over from Ryzen right away. I know we were freaking out about it, his first fight coming back, and to see that's pretty cool. For this year.
Yeah. Shout out to Alwan Doms. Shout out your new name, my guy. I haven't seen you before. A candidate for beatdown of the year. Holloway and Rodriguez is my fight of the year. Awesome. Shout out to you. Thank you for showing up.
Go.
Make sure you subscribe and like the video, man. All right. Number 2. My number 2 fight of the year is Gaiji Chandler. It was so hard not to put this as number 1. But I'll get into number 1 later, why it is there. But Gaethje Chandler, I think the only reason this one isn't number 1 is because in the 3rd round, Gaethje was coasting.
Yeah.
And Chandler was kind of just throwing his arms up, telling him to come on. But those first 2 rounds were fucking incredible. Rounds insane. Of the century, I would say. Rounds of the year. I go back and watch that fight sometimes just because I'm bored. That's a fight I'll never forget right there. And that's the fight where not a lot of fights that have that much hype end up actually living up to
the hype. That's the biggest gripe. And it did. In every which way, every capacity, that fight lived up to the hype, unquestionably. So, that You know what? Just go ahead and get into your number one because mine and yours number 1 and 2 are flip flopped.
Okay, so my number 1 is Volkanovski Ortega. Yeah. That's my fight of the year. It has to be. It's because it was more competitive than Gaiji Chandler. Gaiji, I thought, won all 3 of those rounds. It is what it is there.
It is what it is.
Volkanovski Ortega, that was a 3-2, very tightly contested close fight.
It was.
And Ortega taking Volkanovski's back, having the rear naked choke sunk deep. Deep. I don't know how he didn't submit Volkanovski there. Volkanovski is a complete fucking savage. He's probably the best 145-pounder we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I truly do believe that. I think he'll go down as the GOAT one day.
For him to get out of that. Like, yes. What the
He took his back and didn't get submitted against the greatest ground fighter we've seen at 145 pounds in a very long time.
Yeah, man.
It was insane.
I was live when I watched Ortega versus Swanson a few years ago, and I couldn't believe the grip Ortega had. And that was a standing choke, too. And he just put
he even readjusted, too.
Yeah, even readjusted up there. He's one of the best submission practitioners in the UFC. But, dude, shout out to Volk, man. That heart and determination is nothing to fucking mess around with at all.
Mm-hmm. Savage on the feet.
Yeah.
That was a very tightly contested fight on the feet. Volkanovski ran away with it at the end. I know that, but it's just the level of competitiveness that was there. That's my fight of the year. Like, it can go back and forth with Gaethje Chandler, just like you said. I know you said they're flip-flop, but I mean, they were both fantastic fights. This was a very hard year to pick fight of the year, in my opinion.
It was, dude. This year was awesome, though. I'm glad it was so hard for us because, that's what I like. We're all fans. We all have different opinions. All Juan Doms had a different opinion than us for fight of the year. That's what makes it great as fans. Is like you can all kind of just go through your own awards and be like, yeah, this is here for this reason or that reason. But you and I are sitting here going, yeah, your pick could have been my pick. My pick could have been your pick. It's just, it is what it is. Like, what a great year for the UFC.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the greatest years of all time. I cannot wait for 2022, dude. Like, the fights they are announcing already, absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah,
I
we'll have to
wait.
jump into that.
Yeah.
At some point.
We're an hour deep, dude. I think we got to get into our preview show. Do you have anything to say about fight of the year, Devin, before we move on?
Once again, this has been like the hardest year for, fight of the year, breakout fighter, submission, KO. I mean, this is hard, but personally, it wasn't as competitive, but it just gets me hype every time I see it, is the Max Holloway Kattar fight.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Just because
when Max was looking over at the booth.
Smooth, good with it.
Dude, he was in the fucking Matrix.
Boxer. Yeah, I mean, it's up like you would. I almost put, the Chandler, Gaethje, how could we forget about the Sanhagen, Jan, or the Sanhagen, Dillashaw, both very competitive fights.
That should have been on the list. Sanhagen, Jan, Sanhagen, Dillashaw.
So
both
competitive.
Yeah.
If we're going based off, technical skills and whatnot, back and forth. How could we forget the Ortega, the TCD, and the Volk fight that you guys mentioned? But for me, it's got to be the Max Holloway Kattar fight. I mean, just so smooth with it.
And entertaining.
So entertaining.
The amount of damage that man took that night was insane.
I mean,
insane. Absolutely.
Crazy.
All right, let's move on to our preview show. We're going to be an hour and 30 minutes in. A fantastic card.
Yes.
To start the year off. I'm very excited. Very excited. Calvin Kattar, Giga Chikadze. Main event of the evening. Calvin Kattar coming in at a plus 200 to a minus 240 Giga Chikadze.
It's been a full year since he fought Max Holloway, which was his last fight, also in January. It's damn near a year to the day. Very, very close here. But yeah, Calvin Kattar, 22-5, coming in at a plus 200 underdog against Giga Chikadze at a minus 240 favorite. Tabor, how do you see this one shaking out?
Violence. It's not going down to the ground, I'll tell you that.
No.
Neither one of these men are going to go down to the ground.
I do not foresee that.
Calvin Kattar, one of the most technical boxers this division has ever seen. People were saying he was going to not outbox Max Holloway, but give him his most competitive fight, and boy, we were wrong.
Yeah.
But that just shows you how good Max Holloway is, because we know the level of Calvin Kattar's boxing is. One of the most best boxers we've seen in a very long time. So you cannot count him out up against a rising breakout star in Giga Chikadze. This man was a candidate for breakout fighter of the year. He had a fantastic 2021. Demolish Cub Swanson. And then to finish and brutally knock out Edson Barboza. Like that?
That was wild. Super impressive.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like what? No one saw that coming. Like no one. Everyone thought that was going to be a 5-round, highly contested technical matchup, and he beat his ass. Beat his ass bad. Yeah. Giga Chikadze at a -240. I'm not surprised. He's got a lot of hype behind his name right now. I'm not surprised, man. I might even take that bet. I like Giga in this fight.
All right.
I think I'm going to take Giga for 2,500 Churchcoin. Guys, 10,000 Churchcoin to start off the year. 2,500 Churchcoin on Giga Chikadze. I don't see Calvin Kattar winning this fight. I think Giga's kicks are too much. He's going to get kicked in the leg. He's going to get kicked in the liver. He's probably going to get kicked in the head. Can he land boxing combinations? Yes. Will they be enough? I don't know. The power is there. He could, without a doubt, knock out Giga Chikadze.
Do you think he's got any ring rust on him?
That's a great question as well. I mean, it's a very long time since he's been out. He's been out since January. And was that fight too much? Because fights like that end fighters' careers sometime. Remember Dana White at the end of that fight? You guys need to get him the fuck out of here right now and take him to the hospital. That fight should have been stopped 2 rounds ago. I don't know, man. I don't know. Will we see the same Calvin Kattar we've seen in the past? I just don't know.
So here's my answer on that. A resounding yes. Yes. I really do believe Calvin Kattar did the right thing in his career. As we just talked about, Tabor, it's very important when you have a fight like that and you get beat the way he did against Max Holloway is to go back, reevaluate, take some time off, and work on the things that led you down the path of for lack of a better term, getting your ass beat. And I mean that with all due respect. I think Calvin Kattar is a phenomenal fighter. You know, he has had very close fights. You know, back in 2019, that decision lost to Zabit Magomed Sharipov. He's beaten guys like Ricardo Lamas, Dan Ige, Jeremy Stevens, all in 2020 to come up short significantly against Max Holloway. Then to take a full year off and fight a guy like Giga Chikadze. You know, I like Chikadze, but there's something I'd be remiss if I didn't say is Austin Springer beat Giga Chikadze on the Dana White Contender Series, and Dana didn't sign Austin, so I don't know what the fuck is going on.
That was Giga's last loss.
Yeah. Was to Austin Springer, so everyone fucking, the local guy here.
Yeah, shout out to Austin.
So shout out to him. But nonetheless, you know, Giga Chikadze, his career is interesting to me because, yes, he isn't on a win streak. He has looked really great, but let me read you a few of the guys that he's beat. Erwin Rivera, Omar Morales,
Who the fuck is that guy?
Jamie Simmons. This is all 2020. Now, I got to put some respect on Giga Chikadze because he had a phenomenal 2021 in the 2 fights that he had. He went out there and KO'd Cub Swanson early in that fight. That was like the first minute of that fight, essentially. And then to go out there and to beat Edson Barbosa the way he did. So again, I'm putting respect on Giga. He could very well win this fight. And there's a reason right now with the momentum that he's on that he is the favorite. All of that makes sense to me.
It's a great matchup.
You know, I think given the circumstance right now with Kattar taking an entire year off after that fight, I think was extremely smart for his career. I still think he's a top contender in this division. I think this fight will be a lot more close than what people are thinking it's going to be. I think the odds are kind of crazy here, honestly. I would still give Giga the favorite, but he would be like a -160 favorite to a +135. I just have to take the value here with Calvin Kattar at a +200. So I am laying down 1,500 Churchcoin on Calvin Kattar for the win.
All right. Yeah, I guess the biggest thing with Vegas must be thinking is we just don't know who's going to show up. Was that too much damage he took in January? Is it going to affect the rest of his career? I guess only time will tell, and we're going to find out this Saturday.
We're going to find out this weekend. Let's go.
Wait, we got fights back. This is a banger. Fight Companion, of course, this weekend, guys. Make sure you subscribe and check it out there. We will be live once the main card starts. But let's move on. No, sorry, I almost forgot you, Cosmo. I see you're still in the chat. Shout out to Cosmo Reaver. 1 year off was definitely the right amount of time off, but there's no telling what he might look like. Cosmo Reverb, our first Patreon subscriber, and also our first Patreon exclusive Churchcoin better.
Hey, let's go.
Shout out to you, my guy. I wish I had the air horns on here. I don't. I'll put it on later. But we don't have the belt yet, dude. It's coming. We're still waiting. It's the metal. It's being minted still, I guess. We're just waiting, man.
We're just waiting. We ordered this thing 2 months ago, and they said 3 to 4 weeks. I've emailed this company twice, and they've sent me back a generic email both times, and then I emailed them again. I'm like, well, when When can we get it? Paraphrasing. And they go, well, we are about 3 to 4 weeks behind. And I'm like, geez, can I get a real fucking representative, please? Goodness gracious. But yeah, belts are still, who knows? It's been 2 months. So I don't know. I'm going to email him again this week. We're going to see where our belt's at, but it's a little frustrating.
Absolutely.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But
it'll be here.
Cosmo, you're betting alongside us here. So Cosmo gave us his picks. He's putting 2,000 Churchcoin on Chikadze. And, it's a great bet, man. I get it. I get it. Minus 240, it's rough, but we just don't know what's going to happen. I'm very excited.
Lied and spiced it up, just saying Hephaestus himself is forging it out of the finest Olympus metals, and that's why it's taking so long.
Oh,
right. Yeah, we could have
that's
done
exactly
that.
what's going on.
Yeah, no, that's the case.
well, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just can't say that for legal reasons because the gods will kill us if we do. So.
Yeah. Zeus, it was a joke.
Yeah, we were just joking. We're
Just joking.
Let's move on to co-main event. Caitlin Kukagian, Jennifer Maia. The Muslim Sokolov fight got canceled.
Oh, it did?
Yes. That was a very excited fight for that. Michelle Pereira, Muslim Sokolov. Couldn't wait for that. That got canceled. So,
Do you know why? Do we have breaking news here?
Sokolov pulled out.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I think he was an injury. But we got Caitlin Kukagian, Jennifer Maia. Caitlin Kukagian coming in at minus 175 to a plus 150. Jennifer Maia. Remember, Jennifer Maia, the only woman other than Amanda Nunes to win rounds against Valentina Shevchenko.
Yep.
The only woman at 125 pounds to win rounds against Valentina Shevchenko. But is that going to be enough? Caitlin Kukagian's fantastic on the ground, man. We all know Jennifer Maia's got great jiu-jitsu, great top pressure. We saw that in the Valentina fight. Didn't last. But she's good. She's very good. Jennifer Maia. I like the plus 150. I'm not going to lie. But I'm taking Kukagian in this fight. I'm going to put 1,000 Churchcoin on her. She's the better fighter on the feet. She's an extremely technical kickboxer. And she's great on the ground, dude. Her length, she is so long for this division. She got triangles for days, crazy arm bars, and she's very flexible. So if this goes down to the ground, I'm very confident that Kukagian can either find a way back up or defend from her back. So stays on the feet, Kukagian all day. Goes down to the ground. It's more of a toss-up, but I'd lean Maia there. But I think it's going to stay on the feet. Kukagian's got pretty good takedown defense, and I'm going to take her there. So 1,000 Churchcoin, Kukagian.
If we see the same Chukagin from last fight, do you still see her winning? Because
who'd you fight last?
To be honest, wasn't her best
Algio,
performance.
I believe. Or what's her name?
I can't remember. It's been
It
too
is,
long.
what's her name? God dang it, hold on. It is Vivian Araujo.
Oh, that's right.
Araujo, yeah. But no, yeah, she beat her pretty decisively in that decision. So I don't know. For me, I really like Chikagian here as well. I think she's just the better fighter. I got to be honest here. I mean, Jennifer Maia has had very impressive wins. You know, her last win, I believe, was against Jessica Ai. But Chikagian, I think, you know, if it wasn't for Valentina Shevchenko, would be a champion. I
Absolutely.
really do believe that. So for me, it's just hard not to go with Chikagian here, even if she is the favorite at a minus 175. So I am putting 2,750 Churchcoin on Chikagian for the win.
All right, let's move on to the next fight. Brandon Royval at a minus 170 to a plus 145. Rogerio Bortrich.
Did we pick Cosmos?
Oh, my bad. I keep forgetting him. She put 1,500 on Chikagian as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Cosmo.
Shout out to Cosmo River. He also said in the chat, all that gold's got to be hard to find. Don't smite us, Zeus. Get on RL guy. I don't know what that means.
Rocket League.
Oh, okay.
Not right now.
Not right now. We're busy. Brandon Royval, minus 170 to a plus 145. Rogerio Bortin. I like this fight a lot. Bortin has struggled, but he did come back in his last fight. But Brandon Royval is one of these guys that quickly moved up in this flyweight division because he is a violent motherfucker, and he's great everywhere. Mm-hmm. Remember the Kaikar France fight? He almost knocked Kaikar France out. Then Kaikar France came back. Almost. It was close. But that was a great fight. He's without a doubt a top 5 flyweight. I love me some Brandon Royval. Let's go, Brandon. So I'm going to put 500 Churchcoin on Royval. I think he's going to be the better fighter on the feet. If it goes down to the ground, I'm also confident that he's going to be just fine there. So 500 Churchcoin, Royval.
Yeah, you know, Royval has had a he beat Kaikar France.
Did he?
Yeah, with submission.
Oh, Fuck, I thought he lost that
Yeah,
fight.
but since that fight, since beating a guy like Kattar France, he lost obviously to the champ, Brandon Moreno, and then lost to Alexandra Pantoja is the fight
That's
you
right.
were
Yeah,
thinking
I must
of.
be thinking about that.
That was the one where he got choked out, but he was looking like he could have potentially won that fight. That
Yeah,
was
he
a
almost
huge
got a
fight.
title shot. I mean, he was right fucking there.
Had he had beat Pantoja, he probably would have been in line for the next one.
Yeah.
However, I really like Brandon Royval here. I like him a lot. The guy's still relatively young. He's 29 years old.
Yep.
His record, if you looked at his record, you'd be like, oh, wow, 12 wins, 6 losses. That's not good. But, I mean, this guy's fighting the best of the best. I mean, the losses that he has in his career, back in 2018, he lost to Casey Kenny, a great fighter. He's lost to guys like Brandon Moreno, Alexander Pantoja. I mean, these are tough, tough competitors. I like Royval here. I'm going to go 1,250 Churchcoin for the win.
Alrighty. Cosmo Reverb also took Royval. I put 500 Churchcoin on him.
All right.
Let's move on to Jake Collier and Chase Sherman. This one's easy. Chase Sherman, plus 105, even money. Jake Collier is a minus 125. I like Chase Sherman. I just like the guy. He's a big, fluffy motherfucker, and he swings like no other. I think he's going to knock Jake out. So I'm going to put 500 Churchcoin on Sherman. Heavyweight banger. Can't wait.
Yeah, you know what? I'm picking against Sherman. Just out of spite because he fucked up one of my parlays last year when he fucking lost to Parker Porter or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. I was so pissed off when that happened. So just out of spite, which I like Sherman. I like the fighter. I'm just kind of fucking around here. But he did fuck up my parlay, which really irritated me. So I'm going to go Collier here. I'm going to put 500 Churchcoin on him for the win.
Alrighty. Devin.
Oh,
You just said it in chat.
Cosmos picks. He's taking Algeo for 200 as well.
All right. No, that's
No.
that
He's
was
picking
Sherman.
Sherman.
He picked Sherman for 1,000.
Sherman
Sherman
It's all
for
good.
1,000.
But this next fight, Bill Algeo at a plus 115 to a minus 135. Jordanson Burrito. I don't know. I'm fucking these
Just call
names.
him Burrito, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Did you just call him fucking Burrito?
Somebody's hungry.
I am hungry. Right,
We
haven't
can go
eaten
to
yet.
Los Pepes if you want.
Hey,
No,
I'm down. I'm
God,
down. Or
just don't
Taco
even
Bell.
fucking
or-
mention that place. Jordanson. How do you say that?
Bro, I
Burrito?
love us. Are
Burrito?
we going to talk about it? Because I love fucking
Let's
Los
go,
Pepes.
man.
It's the worst fucking Mexican
No,
place.
it's
in
so
town.
good.
It's so gross.
Don't disrespect that
It's
place.
literally soggy rice and all. We're not.
No.
This is for fucking.
It's
this,
a fight.
This. We got to finish this
Yeah,
podcast.
we do.
Okay, Bill Algeo, Jordanson Burrito, minus 115.
Burrito. Not burrito, motherfucker. Oh my God. Put some respect on this guy's name.
No. But I am picking Burrito. I'm going to put 250 Churchcoin on him. He's an up-and-coming guy from the Contender Series. He's got a great record at 12-1. He's a favorite here against Bill Algeo. But Bill Algeo is no fucking joke. Super long and lengthy for the division. Has crazy elbows from all different types of directions. He can hit you from anywhere with his knees and his elbows. I love this guy's style. But I got a lot of hype on Burrito. I'm going to pick him for 250 Churchcoin.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep this short, simple, to the point. I like Algeo coming in at a plus 115. You made some great points about Burrito, but I kind of like that for the slight underdog there. So I'm putting 500 Churchcoin on Algeo. And Cosmo Reverb put 200 Churchcoin on Algeo as well.
All right. It is time for the inaugural Churchcoin parlays.
Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't have Pereira in a parlay because that would have really fucking pissed me off. So, Tabor, what is your parlay this week that you are hoping to hit?
All right. I'm going to do a 3-fight parlay, and I'm going to pick all favorites. I'm going to go Chikadze, Kukagian, and Royval for 500 Churchcoin. I think those are 3 lock-in picks in my opinion. I am very confident that that's going to hit. Guys, this is not financial advice. If you do this parlay, don't fucking blame me if you lose money, okay? Because I'm not telling you to do it.
Nope.
But if I was the betting man, which I'm not, I'm kind of a noob, I like that parlay a lot.
I'd say it's the safer parlay, and I totally agree with that, Tabor. But you know me, when I like to hit big. My parlay this week is going to be Chikagian, Royval, so we're the same there. But and I think those are pretty good fights to pick there for the 2. But then my third, And keep in mind, guys, your parlay can be 2 fights or 5 fights, whatever you want to make it. But Chikadze, Royval, and I like Kattar at a plus 200 underdog. That return will be sick if I hit this parlay, and I'm putting 500 Churchcoin on this parlay. 3-5 parlay. But that is a riskier parlay, I will admit.
All right. Cosmo, your parlay, my guy, was Chikadze Royval for 400 Churchcoin. Wow, so okay. I mean, we're all in agreement there. We feel like those are lock-in fights for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Prop bet of the week.
Which I have to clarify something for prop bets, guys. So for the prop bet, it's going to be main event only because it's really hard to find prop bets for like prelims and even some fights on the main card.
Cosmo, put it down in the chat. I see you're still here. Put your prop bet. We're going to change your prop bet. You put Chikadze and UD. We're not going to count that because it's co-main. So we're only going to do main events apparently. So if you're still here, put it down in the chat. And if not, we'll get it from you through Discord or something later.
Yep.
So my prop bet for this week is I'm taking Giga Chikadze by KO for 250 Churchcoin. I don't see. I mean, it's tough. I see Giga winning the fight, but he can, without a doubt, win it by decision or KO. Yeah. And he's not even sub. I wonder what the sub line is.
Subs
it's probably like a plus 1,000.
Typically around like plus 6 to 1,000.
It's probably huge. Yeah. It's probably huge because Giga's not a submission guy. Right. But if he hit that, Jesus Christ, that'd be crazy. Guys, we're not financial advisors.
I should have pulled up the prop bets before. My bad.
It's okay. Cosmo, I went low risk with that. We understand. But yeah, I'm going to take Giga KO 250. I think that's the most realistic. It's probably the lowest. It's probably only like a plus 150 or plus 200 or something like that. But it's just, in my opinion, I think that's what's going to happen. So
yeah, so I'm going to hedge my bet here. I'm going to go Giga by KO as well. I'm going to put 300 Churchcoin on that because, I think Giga can definitely win. I think how he wins is via knockout or decision, but I like the line better for a KO. So I'm going to put 300 Churchcoin on Giga for the KO. So.
All right. Cosmo chimed in Chikadze UD for 400. Okay.
All right. There we go.
Very excited for this. First card of the year. And I can't think of a better way to start off the next year.
I know. I'm so excited.
This is a very good fight. And if we just went weeks and weeks with no fights, I wanted to freaking freak out. Yeah. I was going through withdrawals. My drinking habits skyrocketed.
What about the cocaine?
That too. And hookers. Thank you guys for the super chats earlier. We appreciate all that. No, guys, all that goes back in the show. We want to get 4K cameras here soon, and we appreciate every single thing you guys do for us. Like we said earlier, we have a Teespring. If you want to help out the show that way, all that money goes back into the show. Get yourself a t-shirt, mug, face mask, all that cool stuff. Also, Patreon, that helps the show out a lot as well. $5 a month gives you so much exclusive content, and we have so much in the works for that. If you subscribe to the Patreon, you will be in the know because we're about to do a second service right now, right after this podcast. I don't know if we're going to live stream it. Probably not. It's probably just going to be either audio only or we'll just record it real quick. Yeah. But we're going to upload that. And that'll fill you in on everything we have coming for this year. Very excited for it, man. If we thought 2021 was big, guys, can just fucking wait. 2022 is going to be our biggest year yet, without a doubt. Absolutely. I cannot wait. Guys, as Tabor just said, go get yourself a Let's Go Brandon shirt. I'm very proud of this shirt, if I'm being honest. And it deserves to be worn. It deserves to be worn by a lot of people. It's funny. It's ironic. If you have not seen the image yet, it's Brandon Moreno behind a Mexican flag holding up the championship belt. Joe Rogan's interviewing him. Dana White's placing the belt over his shoulder. And then you have our president, the great Joe Biden, holding up a sign saying, "Let's go, Brandon." Let's go, Brandon. It's really a great shirt. So go get yourself some merch, guys. Tabor, anything else to add before we close this show out? Nope. I'm about to pee my pants, so let's end it. All right. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at the Church of MMA. Guys, if you aren't following us already, make sure you go and do it. We're posting funny memes. We're trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up. Yeah, check out everything, guys. Be sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all our Patreon subscribers. Joey Norton, Cosmo Reverb, McKiley, Ken Dog. I'm missing a couple, but we should start giving you guys a shout out every week before the show. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. This is the Church of MMA podcast. And until next time, peace.